Hello, Patriots. I'm Lee Watts, and this is Patriot Point, your source for Kentucky news and analysis from a conservative, Christian, and common sense point of view. Well, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and are looking forward to a joyous Christmas season. And I just wanted to point a little thing out for us is remember at Christmas time, what we are celebrating is the birth of a little Jewish baby in Bethlehem more than 2,000 years ago. It wasn't that the Jews started living in Israel in 1948. They have been living in the land of Israel for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And with all of the misinformation and propaganda going on, I just thought I'd remind everybody about that little fact right there. And I'm throwing that part in absolutely free. Okay, well, let's talk about what is going on in Kentucky politics. Probably the biggest thing going on right now by far is the sudden stepping down or retirement of the chairman of the Republican Party of Kentucky. The chairman for the last 8 years has been a man by the name of Mr. Mack Brown. And he has very suddenly announced that he is stepping down. Now, while he's held this position for 8 years, I wanted to think about where he started and where we're at. The day that he started, Matt Bevin had just won the governor's election. So the Republicans had the perfect trifecta. They had the governor's office, they had control of the Senate, they had control of the House. This guy has served for 8 years, so 2 different governor elections. And during both of those, it didn't bring in the victory for the Republican Party. And now the governor's office has been lost. So they're probably looking for somebody who can give them, again, that trifecta and get that win for the main executive office. So the Republicans are going to be choosing a new leader. This will be happening on December the 9th. Now, when I say Republicans are going to be choosing a meeting, that doesn't mean every Republican in the state is going to get a ballot and you're going to get a chance to vote on who's going to be the new chairman or chairwoman. The way it's going to work is through the party's structure, statewide structure. If you would like to know, well, what are the rules for this and how does this work and what's the process? I have a link to the official rules in the description of this video. So if you'd like to see what's the process, how does this work, what's going on, I have the information there, right there for you, and I hope you will find that very helpful. Now, talking about people who are seeking to run for office and run for position, if you would like to run for office, do you realize that you would have until the first week of January to file to run for office? And we need conservatives at every single level of government, down from the street cleaner all the way up to the president and everything in between. And there's a lot of people who think, well, you know, I stay involved in politics. You're obviously watching a political commentary program. You're a patriot, conservative. You like to participate, but never considered running for office. Let me take this time right now to say, you know what? There's a ton of people in office today who at one time thought that exact same thing. I've worked up in the state legislature now as a volunteer chaplain. I'm finishing up my 14th year. And I can tell you there's a vast number of our state legislators who never held any elected office in their life before they became a state senator or a state representative. So if you've been thinking, I'm a conservative, I want to be involved, I want to do my part, consider this maybe a sign that maybe it'd be your turn to step up and to serve. And if you're not supposed to, then find a good, solid, conservative, America First candidate that you can actually actively support. Because boy, do we need them at every level. And again, you'd have to the first week of January if you want to run. Now, talking about people running for office, we need people, as I get older, I realize the incredible value of knowing our history, where we came from, so we don't make the same mistakes and we can avoid certain potholes in the road. And this is a problem that the liberals have, is they don't know our history. Maybe part of the reason is they keep tearing down all the statues that teach them about what history is. But I digress. An example of this is what just happened this week. Biden's administration, his Secretary of Education, a fellow by the name of Miguel Cardona, he is getting up, giving a speech, and he's trying to quote President Reagan, but he doesn't know his history. Notice what this Biden administration Secretary of Education said this week.
You know, we're going to set up follow-up calls with every governor we met with to make sure we're available. As I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government. We're here to help.
So he's trying to quote President Reagan saying, hey, we're from the government. We're here to help. However, he doesn't know his history. He's completely misquoted the actual sentiment that President Reagan was trying to get across. This is what President Reagan actually said.
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
So yes, you see the real quote from Reagan is he's saying when somebody shows up and says, I'm from the government, I'm here to help, this is a bad thing. We want the government out of our lives and out of our business. That's the conservative's position. But the liberal, he doesn't even know his history, what's going on, and he's missing the point entirely. And the older I get, again, the more important history is. And I'll tell you how old I am. I'm so old that I remember when the TV Guide came out, you would circle when the TV cartoon Christmas special was coming out. I remember that McDonald's would sell gift certificates at Christmas time, and that was a big thing if you got that in your stocking. I'm so old, I remember that Santa Claus used to ride in an Arelco Razor every year for Christmas time. Nowadays, kids want a big high-definition TV. When I was a kid, you got a Viewmaster and you got a new disc for it and thought that was great. I'm so old, I know how a pencil can help your cassette tape. I'm also so old that I remember when Nancy Reagan sat on Mr. T's lap at Christmas time and got a Mr. T doll for Christmas. So maybe some of you all, some of the age as I am, and remember a few of those things as well. Well, each week I like to mention where I'll be preaching or speaking at in the coming week. Today, December the 1st, this Friday, I'm going to be speaking at an event in Hodgenville, Kentucky. If you can make it, you can see here we have the address on the screen. It's going to be a conference and also a dinner. They would ask that you would RSVP. If you would like to attend, there's the phone number or there is the email. And if you're near Hodgenville, we would love to see you out at this event at a venue that is called The Nest. Been there a few times for other events. Wonderful venue, and I hope to see a lot of you there. And until next week, I'm Lee Watts for Patriot Point, reminding you that liberty is not a spectator sport.